Welcome back, dear viewers, to round 3. The first player, player 1, thinks about opening a second corporation. That would be quite important because the JWO is out of money, and he hopes by opening a second corporation to generate some. And also he could now buy the director share of the GOE because he counts as an experienced director, and the GOE would fit very, very nicely to the JWO. And so he thinks about selling the OWB share and a JWO share, which would then give him 210 more. That is then 466. And I think he does that. So his action is a stock market action. And he sells these 2 shares. That gives him 210. So 466. And the share prices of the JWO and the OWB do drop. And he buys the 50% of the GOE for the price of 90. He also buys the current train, so this is the 3 train, and gets then 700 into its capital, 900 minus 200 for the 3 train. Then he builds a track tire. And what will that track tire be? It helps the DHB, but that can't be prevented. Like this. And then that's the stock market action of the player 1. Then the second player, player red, he also does a stock market action. And he sells a share of the JCE for 100. That gives him 100. So he has 485. And he also starts a new corporation. And what will that corporation be? And for 450 he buys 5 shares of the OKB. So that's the OKB, and he gets now also a 3 train. He wants this 3 train and 700. And he will build something, and this something should be a connection to Jever. And that's because his special ability is each train which has Norden and Jever in its route increases the result of the train, the revenue of the train by 40. So there are some possibilities to do that. He can try to get a pure connection like this, or he goes here. That's one tile less, probably, yeah, maybe one tile less, but then you spend an extra station. That's not that bad, because he eventually wants to token in Jever itself, and then the Carolinensiel station is quite valuable. So yeah, he goes there via arrow like this. Then player 3, so he does a trains action and grades up the 2K train to a 3 train in the Hü, and that's it for the trains action. Then player 4. Player 4 has no such problems. He simply makes a revenue action right now. And this revenue action gets him 3 2s and 1 3. That's the 3. That's 1 5 12. Then we have a 2 here. That's now 2 5. Another 2 here. That's 2 4. And another 2 here. That's 4 6 27. Like the last time, and he pays that out. That's 135 for him. So he has now 351. Does anyone else have an OWB? No. And the share price goes up by 2. Then the CV, the 3 of the CV goes here. That's 1 2 8. Or is it 1 2 8? 1 2 5. Yeah, the 1 3 8. That's 40. And that's his revenue action. Now player 1. Oh, by the way, we haven't corrected that. That's 16 only now. Who's interested in buying the first 4 train? He has 3 2 trains. He has 3 2 trains. 2 2 trains. 2 2 trains. So, but still the 2K. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. It doesn't help. He does a trains action and upgrades the 2K train to a 3 train. But well, let's do that. So he buys this 2 train from the JWO with a GUE that costs him, let's say, 160. So he has 540 left. 540 left, and he has now 305. And the JWO buys the last 3 train for 200, so he has 105 left. Player 2 does a build action, and EH and JCE build these tiles. And the OKB grades up that tile, and I think he does it in the X way, and tokens here. And that leaves him then with 660. Now the blue player, player 3. Yeah, player 3 does a trains action again, and buys a 4 train with a CME. That destroys the two trains. And yellow is very happy to have already done his revenue action, but he is also angry about not having used the special ability of the OWB. He should have, at the end of the revenue action, he should, after paying the revenue, he could have given back a 2 train to the bank and cash this in and get 100 thaler into the treasury of the OWB. Sadly, he missed that opportunity. Well, better not luck next time when the 3 train is up for rusting. That's that. Then the player 4. Player 4 does an action. A stock market action. He sells a JCE for 90. It has now 481. And he buys the DHB. For 90. The DHB lays this. and he buys also a 4 train and gets then 600 in the capital. Then player 1, green again. Green has now 2 actions left. He does not need a trains action, he needs building. Build. And what does he build? The GUE, what's the brown Oldenburg tile? It's gain of 20. So he grades up Oldenburg. This. And he lays a token in Bremen. Then the JWO, so I think he grades up Bremen because that's the station he wants to hit twice. So that's that. And then we have also the boo. And the boo, which can now build through this. And here grades up that tile. Boo has what? A 3 train. So we can go from here to there right now. Like this. That's a build action of player 1, the green player, then the red player. He builds. It's now brown time because of the 4 train, so yeah. The OKB builds this and places a token here for 100. JCE can put a token into Bremen, and I think that's something he wants to do. And before that, he will upgrade that. The X with another X. And he puts a token in Bremen for 100. And the EH, on the other hand, he could go there also. So that would mean here this tile will be browned. And now the question think he really does. He really wants to do this. So that's the EH, the JCE, and the EH, the JCE, and OKB have built. That was player 2. Then player 3, the blue player, he needs a stock market action urgently, and he buys shares of corporations which have a good future. Which corporation will pay out? Probably the GOE and probably the OKB. So he buys 2 shares of the GOE for 180, leaving him with 100, and also a single share of the OKB for 90, so he has 10 left. Then the 4th player, yeah, he could do things. Well, by the way, I haven't corrected that one, so that's only 31 left, of course. Then that yellow player builds, and with the CV he can build that. With the DHB he builds that, and also places a token here for 40. And with the CV he opens up that. Like this. And with the OWB he goes there. Then player 1, the green player, strikes again, and he has to do a revenue action. The BU will go like, yeah, well, he's now cut off, so he has to go this way. That's 5, 9, 10, 50 for that. So he has 100 here and 66 here. The JWO will use his 2 3 trains. And that's 1, or maybe even that would be the first train, and the second would go there. Yeah, the first train runs from Delmenhorst, Bremen, Oldenburg, so that's 20. That is 22, 13, and 8 is 21. That's the first train. And the second train starts here. That's 2, 13, 17, 18. So that's 18, 39. And he does swallow that. So that's 39, 495. And the JWO share price goes down. And then the GUE has only a 3 train. And I think he goes 1, 2, 3. That's 8, 16, 20. And he pays that out 20. So that's 166 here. And the share price goes up 2 spots. And here's a double share price. Here's a double share certificate. So that's 40. There's now 50. And there's no other GUE certificate sold. So that's the revenue action of the green player. The second player, the red player, does to make a revenue action. So it's 13 going here for the EH, 65 per share, you can't say share. So that's 145 here. And 100 here. The JCE has a 3 train, which goes from here to there. That's 6, 11, 16, 19. Well, he should or could swallow it. Yes, he swallows it. So that's 295. That's the JCE price goes down. And the OKB, which is 3 train, goes from here to there. That's 5, 8, 13 plus 4 is 17. And he pays that out. So that's 85 for each, 17 for each OKB share, 85 here, 185. And the share price goes up by 1. That's player 2. Now player 3. Player 17. Also, he gets 17, so he has now 67 here. Then this CME has still the problem how to get into the Ruhrgebiet. That's an 8, that's great. So 8, 9, 11, and with the 4, he could go, let's just do this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4. So that's 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 8, 23. That's for the 4 train. And for the 3 train, it's 8, 9, 11. So 34. And I think he pays that out. 170. So that's 237. And well, that's double jump for the semi. And at last, player that was a revenue action. So then at last player 4. Player 4 has already done its revenue action, so he can either build or do something crazy. Something crazy, it's not his style. He can't do a sensible share action. He could do a trains action and buy another 4 train, but that would be decapitalize all his corporations. That may be not so wise, so he does a build action. And the CV builds up here. The OWB builds down here. Or the DHB builds up here. The CV builds then up here. And the OWB builds here in the hope to get a token in Oldenburg when it becomes gray. So that's that, and yeah, well, that's is the last action in this round. We give back the cubes. So green goes last, all other go up like this. And round 4. That's it.